And we are on episode 1, take 1 of my little video YouTube cast I'm calling Been There, Almost Rocked It. My name is Keith. I'm in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm old, but I got to see all the good bands. You've seen the bumper sticker, haven't you? I've got cats. Come here. Meow, 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 meow. This is Miss America. Say hi. Say hi. So if I sneeze or have to do this, it's because my cats are shedding right now. Hey, little girl. And basically, I've been to 475 concerts since 1978. I'm a cancer, and I don't forget anything. So I took about 40 concert experiences and wrote them, made a nice little book, and but I figured I could promote it doing this. So episode 1, I've been there, almost rocked it. Trying to keep these under 15 minutes because I can't put it on YouTube if they're over 15. So I'm at 1 minute 15 seconds now. So let's do it. First story is going to be called Mary and Lollapalooza. You know, a couple of weeks ago I got to see Chris Cornell solo. Actually, June 15th and 16th in Clearwater, Florida. And the next night I went over to. I'm getting text messages from fans, so if I look down, that's why. Anyway, so I got to see Chris Cornell in Jacksonville in Clearwater, Florida, solo, with him and this guy on cello. It is probably one of the most phenomenal things I've ever listened to in my entire life live. And but I did have an opportunity back in 1992 to see Chris Cornell with Soundgarden on Lollapalooza. So therefore, as this is called Mary and Lollapalooza. Mary will be in the story in just a second. Lollapalooza in 1992 was Perry Farrell's. It was like the ultimate tour. You had Soundgarden, you had Pearl Jam, you had the Chili Peppers, you had one of the Ices. You had Ices, not the bad people Ices. Like I'm talking about either Ice-T or Ice Cube. I know it wasn't Vanilla Ice, but it was one of those other ones. They had like a metal band or something. Maybe it was Ice-T and Body Count. Anyway, they were there. Jesus and Mary Chain and probably some other people that obviously I don't remember, as I will tell you now. So to set up the story, I'd had my ticket for a couple of months. I had a lawn seat, just to chill out, and I was probably going to do some illegal substances. So I figured the more open space I've got, the better it is for people around me. But this show is on a Tuesday, so Sunday night, I'm married at the time. My future ex-wife, as we're eating, she suggests, women will suggest a lot of shit, guys. Sometimes you listen to them, sometimes you don't. This time I wish I had not, but in hindsight. But as we're eating, she's sitting there going, are you going to this Lollapalooza by yourself? And I'm like, yeah, I go to a lot of shows by myself. So she suggests that her friend Mary, that she works with, and her girlfriend are going to go, and it would probably be better if I went with them. I'm like, doesn't sound like a good idea, but to avoid like a month of bitching and sleeping on the couch and everything else, I said, okay, I'll ride with Mary and her friend. So Tuesday comes about 8:30 in the morning. There's a knock on my door, and there's Mary and her friend, and she's like, we're ready to go. So, I'm telling my future ex-wife goodbye, and so we start the 3-hour trek to Atlanta. I'm in Montgomery, Alabama at this time, so it's about 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours to Atlanta. So about 10 minutes into the drive, Mary pulls a car over. I'm thinking, what's going on? Well, she takes out like a case of beer out of her trunk, and throws it in the back seat with me. So we're drinking beer at 8:30 in the morning on our way to Atlanta for Lollapalooza. Anyway, we make it to Atlanta, and the first thing when we get parked at Lakewood Amphitheater, which is an outdoor shed, as I call them. We get there, and it's a lot of people just looking, just milling around. Is that a word, milling? It is now. So, cats. Um, there's this thing going on called the Jim Rose Circus. If you've never experienced the Jim Rose Circus, Google it. Let Google be your best friend for a moment. I don't suggest watching videos, but I watched this dude, kind of a heavyset guy, who had pierced nipples. He lifted weights, like 10-pound weights, on each side with his nipples. I'm thinking, fucking hurts, man, just watching it. But the kicker was this guy drank like a pint of milk, drink it. Then they ran tubes up his nose, down his throat, and either he drank the milk or somebody else drank the milk. And you know what? That's not something I wanted to see after about 2.5 hours of drinking beer and riding with Mary and her friend to Atlanta. That was a wild ride. So anyway, so we go inside. Everybody's got, the three of us have lawn seats. So we kind of claim our spot on the lawn. And the Jesus and Mary Chain are the first band to come on. So as we're sitting there, and Mary's friend has gone off, she's like a dog in heat, man. She's chasing every guy there except me. But I'm married, so it didn't matter. So Mary suggests, again, I'm getting all these suggestions from women, that we sit on the last row of seats to get a better view of the Jesus and Mary Chain. Now, if you've gone to these outdoor sheds, as I call them, the amphitheaters, you know, you've got the stage at the end, you've got seating, then another section of seating, and it kind of elevates up, like I guess they call it stadium seating. So, and then you've got about a 10-foot concrete walkway that goes from one side of the amphitheater to the other. So if you come in through the wrong gate, you can, instead of going all the way around, you can walk through this path. So anyway, the last row of seats are elevated probably about 6 feet up off the concrete walkway behind us. And that concrete walkway separates the lawn seats where we are to the last row of seats. Are you keeping up with me? Because I'm losing track. Anyway, so Mary suggests we sit on these last row of seats so we can watch the Jesus and Mary Chain. And then when the people who have the tickets for these seats come up, we'll just move and go back to the lawn. I'm thinking, I guess my better judgment? Okay, let's do this. So we go up to the seats, and we're standing in the seats. Why? I don't know, because there's nobody in front of us. So she's standing in a seat, and now she's about 8 foot up in the air. There's a seat between us, and then I'm standing in my seat. So we watched the Jesus and Mary Chain play. They were actually good. So when they got through, Mary turns to me, and there's a seat in between us, to tell me that band kicked ass. Well, she said that, she loses her balance, and she falls over backwards about 8 feet down to the concrete walkway. She bounces. I mean, her head, boom, bounces off the concrete. And it was like slow motion. I'm like, no. I didn't use effects. I actually went, no. And bam, bam, she hit. So I jumped down, and these people were like, oh my God, oh my God. And I was like, I swear to God, I didn't knock her down. I didn't. So I jumped down, and there's blood. Blood starts oozing out of the side. I mean, oozing blood. That shit that Dracula drinks, man, started oozing out of her head. And so the paramedics show up. They strap her down to this board. You know, maybe she's got a concussion. Maybe she's got I don't know what's going on with her. I can't find her friend because she's in the bathroom with some guy. Anyway, so she finally comes back around, and I'm like, Mary is going to the hospital because she fell over, and that's her blood, and so on and so on. So anyway, we go kind of behind the stage. We watch them load her into the ambulance, and they said, follow us to the hospital. I'm thinking, what? Anyway, being the good guy that I am, Mary was transported by the ambulance, and me and her friend, I still don't know her name, 20-something years later, still don't know her name. So we go and follow her to the hospital. So for the next 12.5 hours, I sat in a waiting room with Mary's friend, waiting to see what happens. I know what's happening at Lakewood. Soundgarden's playing. I missed them. Pearl Jam's playing. I missed them. Ice, somebody played. I missed them. Chili Peppers played. I missed them. But I got to see the Jesus and Mary chain. Turned out Mary had a broken arm and a concussion. But you know what? That's been 24 years ago. And, Mary recovered. She recovered, but I never have. So the moral to the story is, if your wife or girlfriend suggests something, have some balls and just say, no, I'm going to do what I want to do. You may not be married long. You may have to sleep on the couch. But if I said no, I wouldn't have had to wait 26 years or 24 years to see Chris Cornell. Anyway, that's the gist of these videos. Been there, almost rocked it. Pantheon Press people, Simon & Schuster people, whoever did Sammy Hagar's book or Howard Stern's books or any of these other books that I've got, help a brother out, man. Really, I'm tired of working for the man. So, anyway, I hope you enjoy these. Leave a comment if you wish. And I'm going to do these periodically. So, anyway, peace out.